How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all and breaking down the top couple of stocks and ETFs that I'm personally watching and looking to trade in this upcoming week of January in 2020. And I also want to share with you all my thoughts on the market over these past 5 days in the past week of trading so we can get a better understanding of where the market could be going here over the next couple of days. We'll break down the S&P 500 for that, and I also want to go over what the stock market futures are looking like right now because, as many of you know, the futures market opens up at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday, so you can see, what the ES is trading at, which is the S&P 500, the futures of the S&P 500. You can see the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, natural gas, crude oil, gold, silver, and a bunch of other futures. So before we get into all of that good stuff, all I ask from you is if you enjoyed this video, if you find any value in this video, simply go down below for me and hit that like button, and also consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see further content from me. And if you want 2 free stocks from Webull, I actually have an affiliate link down below where if you deposit $100 using my affiliate link in the description box, you get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400, which at the end of the day is free money, and it supports the channel and the free content that I'm putting out here for you guys on a day-to-day basis. So now that that's out of the way, the intro's out of the way, let's talk about the S&P 500 over these past 5 days of trading very quickly. Then we'll talk about what the futures market is looking like right now. And you guys can see on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, this is the S&P's performance over these past couple of days. You can see we were at a low of 32.14, and we actually rallied all the way up to, yet again, another all-time high at 32.82.99 before seeing quite a bit of a pullback heading towards the close of the market on Friday. And if we pull out here to the 4-hour chart, we can see that overall we're very, very, very extended right now in this market, obviously, since we're hitting all-time highs. But the good thing is we're seeing that pull down, and the fact that the futures right now, they're actually pushing up. And let's transition to the futures here. This could lead to the markets tomorrow continuing the rally. So if that is the case, everyone that bought the dip, let's say you bought the dip on Friday in one of these ETFs that track the market on the bullish side. Let's say, for example, you bought SPXL, which goes up at a 3x rate whenever the S&P is going up. You'll probably do well tomorrow, again, if this market continues the uptrend, and the futures market is pointing to that because the ES, which is the S&P, right now is up $4.25, up 0.13%. So that is really good. And you guys can see here the gap up on the 1-day, 1 minute where we were downtrending. This was on Friday, and this is the gap up that we saw here at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, which is about an hour prior to me filming this video, where we pretty much broke out of that downtrend, which is the 180 SMA and the 50 SMA here. So this is a really good sign for the ES from the bullish standpoint here. The NASDAQ right now is up pretty much the same as the S&P, up 0.16%, up 14 points right now, and we can see it's also breaking out of that downtrend here on the daily chart. And to take a look at the Dow Jones very quickly, you guys can see up 41 points right now, up 0.15%. So overall, these markets, they're looking pretty good based on a future perspective. These futures are looking good in terms of continuation here for the uptrend to continue heading into tomorrow's session. And what will solidify this even more, and by solidify, I mean, the uptrend actually pushing up, is, well, do these futures hold green heading into tomorrow's session? Are large caps green in the pre-market session? session, that's going to be huge, because if that's the case, I'd put my money that the uptrend will continue tomorrow and maybe for the first half of the week or maybe the whole week. And we'll see in these analysis videos during the week what ends up happening. And of course, if you guys want to see that content, hit that red button, subscribe to the channel so you can be notified. And by the way, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time that I do upload a video. And it is pretty much every single day through the market week and every Saturday and Sunday pretty much as well. So now that that's out of the way, let's get into the bread and butter and talk about all of these stocks here that I do have on my watch list, that I am watching, and a couple other stocks that do have earnings this week. We actually have a lot of companies that are beginning to report earnings, a lot of banking stocks this week, and a lot of the big names like Facebook, Apple, Tesla, they're reporting more towards the end of the month, and we'll talk about those in a couple of videos from now, every single video probably up to their earnings report. So the first one, speaking of Tesla, is going to be Tesla stock, guys. Ticker symbol TSLA. And if you guys have been following this channel, you know that I pretty much missed a lot of this rally here in my swing account. I actually do own a couple shares of Tesla, nothing crazy, and one of my long-term accounts, I believe my average cost is around the 270, 280 range, but to be honest, I missed a lot of this in my swing account. Most of it, right? A lot of it, to be honest, but either way, I still have exposure to Tesla, but in my swing account, I actually bought a couple of shares. I believe it was on Friday, and I talked about that in Friday's video. And it is because this stock ended up seeing a pretty nice pull down from about $500 down to about that 475 to about 480 mark, which it seems like on the 5-day, 5-minute here, Tesla did end up holding that 475 level, which is really good in my opinion for the potential continuation of the uptrend here. And what would I want to see for the full-on continuation? I'm going to need to see a break out of this 180 SMA, and honestly, a break into the $485, $490 level. And I got in a little bit early here on Tesla, guys. I'll be honest. I got in around $480, so I'm currently a little bit down on my position, but the beauty of it is when I'm swing trading, I'm not going in 100% position size right off the bat. I'm going in with 25% position size, goal position size, that is, maybe 20%, maybe 30% at first. So if the stock falls, I could add more if I want to add more, or I could cut losses and lose money on a smaller portion of money than if I were to hop in 100%, if that makes any sense, right? Let's say if I had $10,000 and I threw it in, that's how much I want my position to be, and it goes down, well, I'm going to lose more money than if I just put in $2,500 at first and then scaled in, when the opportunity presented itself. And that's kind of how I'm viewing this. So I put in a little bit at 480, plan on adding more at around $485 and probably more at around $490, but we'll see what ends up happening. But overall, I just think that any dip buy and any dip in Tesla at this point is worth considering nibbling some shares due to how crazy bullish and positive the narrative around Tesla has been here over the past couple of weeks. And ever since the mainstream media, Jim Cramer, did you guys see that video a couple weeks ago? I know most of you guys saw that. Jim Cramer turning bullish. It seems like CNBC is turning bullish. A lot of analysts are turning bullish. The narrative is shifting here, and I do honestly believe Tesla will go over $500. Am I saying, in the short term at least, am I saying it's going to go over $600 here in the next month? No, I don't know. Nobody knows. Sure, in the long term it might, but in the super short term, I am pretty confident. I'm not saying 100% because no one knows, but I'd say I'm like 75, 80% sure, which is why I've been buying the stock, to be honest, that Tesla's going to $500, and that's why I'm scooping up some shares here on the dip. And I'm honestly open to adding more shares if it goes down to $450. I'd be open to that, but we'll see in these upcoming days what ends up happening. Another one that I'm watching is Alta, ticker symbol ULTA, and this is one that has made a pretty big move here in just the past couple of trading days. You guys can see if I go on the 5-day, 5-minute, this stock was $250 just on the 7th of January, which is about 4 or 5 days ago, and since then, it's ran up to $260, $267 to be exact. And on the 184-hour chart, we can see this is actually a point where we've been rejected not once, but twice in the past. Once towards the end of September, another time towards the beginning of December, and now we're at that point where, I think if we break, this has a massive gap to fill up to about 320. And why is it 320, guys? Because if you've been following the stock, you know that they reported abysmal earnings. I'm talking abysmal earnings back here. I believe this was, what quarter was this for them? I'm not too sure, but they reported very bad earnings. The stock went from 325 down to 225, guys, in the matter of a couple days. That's a $100 trim in the stock price, which is insane. And since then, it's been finding consolidation and kind of been trading in this horizontal channel between 225 and 267. So this is tradable in many different ways. If we get rejected here and go back down to that 50 SMA, this could also be a dip buy at 255. So the trade would be from 255 back up to 266. And let's say, we do end up breaking 266. This could trigger a lot of bulls, coming into the stock, and it could trigger a huge pop here. Who knows? It could trigger a pop. Maybe 270, maybe 275, but ultimately I'd need to see some consolidation first at this old resistance as a new support, if it even holds it as a new support, and that's where I'd consider entering Ulta, ticker symbol ULTA. So another, a couple other stocks that I personally own here that I'm still looking at are Uber, ticker symbol UBER. This is one that I've been buying recently. I actually took a lot of profits in Uber, and the fact that I saw it hold about $33.50 to about $34 as a support now, this is a good sign that it's trying to make its way up to about $35.80 to about $36, which is this next resistance here on Uber. So from where we are now, I believe I actually bought a little bit more at about $34.30. So I'm actually down on that position. But either way, I still believe in this one to be a mid $30 stock in the next couple of weeks. That's just my honest opinion, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is, guys, and we'll see if I'm wrong in the next couple of weeks here via these videos. So from 35 or 34 up to about 36, that's a nice 5.3% potential, and honestly, there's even more from there if we break that level, and that's going to be a whole different trade. I'll probably lock in profits at 36. And then look to re-enter after that up to about $38, $39. That could be the next tradable range. But again, we'll see what ends up going down here in the next couple of trading days and weeks. So PayPal, PYPL, this is another one very, very similar to Uber in terms of the pattern here. We just broke a previous resistance at about 112. Now we're looking to fill the gap up to 116. So out of all of these stocks, this one does have a pretty attractive risk-reward profile here. Reward up to about 116 from about 112, 113. That's about a nice 3 to 4% potential for profit. And honestly, the risk here is really between 112, or rather 113, down to about $112, because I would cut losses, honestly, if it were to break below 112. Let's say if I were to get in at around 113. So overall, I see potential in PayPal in between this $112 to $116 range. The next stock here on my list is another one that I own. I actually bought a little bit of this one on Friday. It's Beyond Meat, and I'm taking advantage of this momentum that we're seeing here in Beyond Meat. And for those of you guys that don't know, this stock went from $45 when it IPO'd all the way up to $245, and it's crashed very, very much since then, all the way down to about 60, actually more like $75, and since then, we've actually broken above the 180, the 50, and the EMA here on the 4-hour chart, and we're seeing a lot of positivity around the brand. They actually have a test run here, I believe, of their McDonald's PLT, what is it called? A plant, lettuce, and tomato. They're actually expanding that test in Canada. I believe they had it in 28 stores. Now they're expanding it to 51 stores, and this is a lot of positivity. It's bringing a lot of positivity to Beyond Meat, and honestly, they just have a lot of partners with Dunkin'. I tried their, what is it? What was it, guys? Sausage breakfast sandwich. It was pretty good, in my opinion, and I want to try that PLT, but unfortunately, I'm not in Canada, guys. If you're in Canada, hey, let me know down below. If you try that, let me know down below what you guys think about it. But either way, I see a lot of potential here in Beyond Meat. Momentum is clearly up here, and I'm actually in at around 93.20, I believe, something like that. And I do plan on adding more if we end up breaking above $100. That's kind of the level that I'm looking at right now. So Beyond Meat, ticker symbol BYND. The next one that I'm looking at, let me pull up my notes here very quickly, guys, is ticker symbol BA, also known as Boeing, guys. And Boeing, there's been a lot of negativity around this company and around its 737 MAX. There were unfortunately 2 fatal plane crashes in the year of 2019, and recently, in the past couple of days, there was another Boeing plane that actually crashed. We thought it crashed. We thought, I believe it was like an engine failure, mechanic failure in that plane over in Iran, but we actually got news recently that Iran actually shot down that plane, and unfortunately, rest in peace to all the people. There were about 140 lives lost, which is just a tragic, tragic event, and that's not really bringing the price of Boeing down here. I think originally it did a little bit. It might have been this day because people thought it was another Boeing malfunction, but it ended up being, again, not really Boeing's fault because, unfortunately, the plane was shot down. So either way, Boeing here, it's at $330, which is a very, very interesting spot for Boeing because we can see that over the past couple of months has been a support. So for me to even consider entering Boeing here, I need to see it hold this level, and ultimately this uptrend that you guys see, it's still holding on this hourly chart, right? The little pull down here, it's holding, and that's a good sign. So watch for the pop here, guys. Boeing could be a tradable range between $330, I think, up to about $340, and then from there, there's a lot more potential, right? There's a horizontal channel I'm seeing, horizontal pattern here where Boeing could realistically get back up to about $370 based on this pattern, and that will really happen, in my opinion, if we break above this 180 SMA. That's going to be the confirming sign that I'm looking for. So the last 3, let's talk about them, guys. NIO being one of them. NIO is one here that it's been crushed over the past couple of days, but in reality, it's still up a ton since that initial rally of 90% in one day that we saw a couple of weeks ago. So take a look, or not weeks ago, more like days ago, right? And take a look, guys. This is still technically uptrending, right? We're holding that 180 SMA and the 50 SMA. We're seeing a break above these moving averages here on the hourly chart, and we successfully held $3, which is an old resistance as a new support, which is an extreme good sign from a bullish perspective here. So for me, how would I trade NIO? I think from $350 up to $4, that is very good, very possible range here for NIO, especially if we're seeing it uptrending in the pre-market hours. That's going to be a sign that I'm watching, guys. Let's say it's up $355, $360. This could really make the move in one day if it really pops. We've seen it happen. It went up 90% in a day, and then from there, from $4 up to $450, that could be the next level that NIO can go to. And obviously, you guys know, most of you, if you're not a new viewer, you probably don't know this, but I'm long NEO. I've been buying NEO, not a lot of money, guys. My position, if I'm being 100% transparent, and you guys saw the screenshots a couple weeks ago, my position is like $1,000, $1,200, somewhere like that, and it's just a spec play that I have in my portfolio that I'm literally willing to lose all of the money, right? I see this as a potential 10x investment, but I also see it as an investment that could go to zero, which is why I have a very small amount of money compared to my entire long-term portfolio, where if I were to lose that money, honestly, guys, I really wouldn't notice it. Obviously I'd notice the position gone, but it wouldn't really hurt my portfolio too much in the grand scheme of things here, right? And that's how I treat all of my spec positions here. I think it's just wise in my opinion, right? So two more. Activision Blizzard here. This one's seeing a bit of a pull down on the 5-day, 5-minute. You can see it from about $61 down to about $59. But if we pull up this hourly chart, it seems like we're still holding that overall 59 level of support, right? So this could be one where if we see a little breakup here, it offers about a 3 to 4% potential back up to $61. Not the most attractive, but it's still a nice pull down here that's worth taking a look at, since the markets were pulling down a bit here over the past 24 48 hours. So the last one is Billy, guys, ticker symbol BILI. And this actually came to my attention from one of the subscribers of this channel. And I watched this stock months ago. It's actually on my watch list here, but although it's on my watch list, haven't really been watching it, which is kind of odd. And this actually came to my attention that it pulled down aggressively from $24 down to about $21.50. And you guys can see it's holding that 50 SMA with a bullish candlestick forming here after hours on the 4-hour chart. And you know me, I love continuing uptrends here. I love buying in on an uptrend and buying in on a dip, and this really fits my profile here. So I'm watching it in this upcoming week of trading. And by the way, this is a Chinese company for those of you guys that don't know. So if you're not into Chinese companies, just scratch this off your watch list, because it is one. And just letting you guys know out there, because many people, they trade stocks, and at the end of the day, they don't even know if it's an American company, it's a Chinese company, whatever kind of company it is. And I think it's important, at least when you're buying and trading stocks all the time, to know, kind of what these companies are about to some extent, right? So that is really it for those stocks. Very quickly, in under a minute, let's go over some earnings on the 14th, which is, let me double check. Nope, that's not tomorrow. That is actually on Tuesday. We have some earnings coming out in the banking sector. JP Morgan, ticker symbol JPM, they're reporting earnings on the 14th. An airline, actually, Delta, DAL is the ticker symbol. They're reporting earnings on the 14th as well. A lot of other companies are too, guys, but I'm just picking the key ones that I am personally watching here and that I think is wise watching. Wells Fargo is another one, ticker symbol WFC. They're reporting earnings on the 14th of January here. On the 15th of January, two more banking stocks, Goldman Sachs, ticker symbol GS, as well as Bank of America. So get ready this week, guys, for some earnings reports to start kicking off. Banking is going heavy this week. Citibank, as well as another one, I believe, ticker symbol not Citibank, Citigroup, rather. And get ready for earnings season in the next couple of weeks, guys. It is going down, and I am so excited for it. So that's it. Overall, if you guys enjoyed this video, just go down below for me, hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see further content from me, and let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts on these stocks? What are your thoughts on the market? Drop some ticker symbols down below that you're watching, that you're holding, that you're looking to get into. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking and what's going through your minds right now in this craziness that we are experiencing in today's stock market. So, oh yeah, by the way, again, if you want 2 free stocks, Webull, the link is down below, affiliate link. Just deposit $100 and you get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400. And I'll leave you guys there. That's linked down below in the description box. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks again for watching. As always, peace out.